Hey, how's everybody? I'm a little bit not feeling that. It's just pain, just painful. Other than that, it's not too bad. I talk about this video had to do with my Kundalini experience, but also dimensions. Now, on one video was talking about when I was having the Kundalini experiences. I was going to, I was trying to, with my free will, to see all these dimensions, but certain beings were, I'm not sure who they were, but they weren't very nice to do that, to try to holding me into keeping me from my consciousness from expanding in my from leaving my body to seeing all that, seeing the dimensions. And uh, just how powerful we are. When my kundalini was activated, I my free will, I said no, it's my free will and I have a right to know. And when I did that, I slammed my fist down. And that's, remember, my third eye is open and I could see into other dimensions. I can see my higher self just came and like took me right out of my body, and I shot up through all the dimensions, and I went up to as high as a 11th, 12th dimension. And then there's the creator of this universe, a creator. There's many creators, many levels, but to or it's consciousness. It's all about consciousness. You are a spirit, you're eternal spirit, but you're a conscious spirit, sentient spirit. And when my our ET family, my soul family, my ET family told me that I've lived over 10 billion lifetimes. Well, of course, I can't remember all those lifetimes, but I do have a memory of a lot of lifetimes, and lifetimes going back millions of years, even where there was no moon in our sky. And just that I knew it was a few million years ago. So that's pretty. When you go within, this is what I'm talking about. You have to go within yourself. Stop looking in this outside world. This is an illusion. This is all created by consciousness, by our own conscious beliefs. Powers in this world know this. This is how they manipulate you into continuing into this false reality, because it is an illusion. All right. All the masters or teachers, the great teachers, I just call them great teachers and masters because in more than one lifetime I was a slave, and I have memory of that too. And I don't like the word master. I'm sorry, but I was forced to use that. Yes, master, master, man. After having that experience, it does leave not something nice to with that term, master. But fine, when you want to use master, fine. But great teachers, I'd rather say, who came on this earth. All I've told you to go within yourself through in the heart. Okay, the high heart. It's like a portal. It's like connection right to source. What people call God, I call source, the creator, right? Of all. It's in everything. Source is in everything and everyone. Okay, that is source, and this is your doorway through the heart. And seeing those dimensions now, like I said, those beings were trying. I could see them too. With my third eye was open, I could see them, and they were like, there was I think two or three of them. I know two for sure. I could see one was, I think, trying to hide, but he was this being. They're trying, and I could see they were like they were using their conscious will to try to keep me in my body, not from seeing what I have a right to see. And that, anyways, I want to go into that, but with our own free will, because this is a free will universe. When I did that, when I said no, it's my free will and I have a right. Boom, my higher self connected right away. Boom, and I could see, those beings like moved right out of the way because they had no choice. I was too strong. We are all like this. This is what I'm trying to tell you. We're all strong like this. Don't let anybody tell you that any being that tells you have to bow down to it is not worth even paying attention to. Okay, this is not what the creator of this universe is. Creator of this universe is unconditional love. That's when I went up to that level, I was one with that being. I still am. Still are, but I was more one with that being, and I felt nothing but unconditional love. And that being recognized me as it. I am one with it. We are one. There was no there was no illusions, no conscious beliefs that got in the way. It was just we were one, and I knew, and this is who you are to who everybody is. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the dimensions. When I, after having that experience, I was able to go to the fifth dimension. It took a lot of work of constantly just thinking positive thoughts all the time, nothing negative, just meditation, many hours of meditation a day, every day a couple hours of meditation. And one night I went to sleep and I went there. I left my body, and I think I went through the sun, because I know the sun is a dimensional doorway. It's a portal now to other dimensions and other universes. And I don't remember exactly where I went, but I know I got there, and I was in the fifth. I was at the in the fifth dimension, and I was there, and I was seeing it. It was beautiful, all these colors, and it's on the Earth with Mother Earth in the fifth dimension. And these two beings came up to me. We call them ETs. They're just beings. There's no such thing as ETs. We always, everybody got to get it. There's this whole universe is full of life. We're all family. It's really got to start thinking like that, because that's the truth. Okay, don't let any powers that be or think they're in power on this earth try to divide you from your family that's multidimensional or from other planets, because we're all connected by source. We're all one, connected. All right, this is what the darkness tries to do, and these other beings who I feel sorry for them, and I have compassion for them, that they're lost. They just continue with trying to keep people down and dumb down and in darkness, because that's where they want to stay. But sorry, it's not going to happen. It's done. They're done. Their time is over. But anyways, I went to that dimension, and like I said, these two beings came up to me and introduced themselves. Hey, we're from a planet, from a star to about 2.5 light years from you. And they were I know it sounds it sounds like a typical ET thing, but they were in silver, it looked like a one-piece suit. Their faces looked human. They had, like 2 arms, 2 legs, everything, right? They're about my height, maybe a little bit taller. And, their faces looked a little bit different, just a little different. Not much, just that there's something, like they had something maybe on the face that was different. Something, I can't, to be honest, it's not as clear as it was like when I had the experience, but I do still remember. I can see them in my mind. But anyways, I don't know for what reason, but I just acknowledged them, but I just kind of ignored them, because I was doing my own thing there, and I focused on creating. And see, in the fifth dimension, when you focus your will, your thoughts create instantly. And I was focused. I wanted to create a house, right? And specifically the basement, and exactly what I thought of just appeared. And it's just like, and I could actually, and which was funny, not funny, which I didn't expect. I could hear, like, when it just like the matter or the energy formed and it did make a sound. I can't describe the sound, but it formed exactly to what I wanted it to. And it stayed like that, and I'm just focusing on that. And then they joined into my creation. They went and sat on a couple of chairs. I made a couch, and this is in the fifth dimension, remember. And they sat and joined into my creation from consciousness. Right, everything's by consciousness. It's wonderful the way it works. And it lasted for a little bit longer. Then all of a sudden, I left. For whatever reason, maybe I couldn't stay there too long, and my higher self said, okay, it's time to go. I left, and I came back in my body, and it was like, wow. And it was an amazing experience. That same night, I also went to the sixth dimension. Okay, the sixth dimension it was like, I could see myself, I'm like, you're the observer, but also the participant. Now, I don't know if my higher self was showing me in the sixth dimension, and that's why I felt like I was in both places at once. Bilocating. Well, I guess that was bilocating. I was in 2 places at once. I was observing myself, but also a participant doing what I was doing, and I was creating this vortex of energy, just using my conscious will, and it was really different. The sixth dimension is different. It's mostly consciousness and energy. It's you have a form, but it's very, it's not physical like that. Nothing like this. It's you have a. I had a body, but it's nothing like this. It's just energy, conscious energy. And I went at this when I did shoot up and seen all these dimensions. I know the seventh is like, I think you're pure. It's pure thought. It's just consciousness. You can take a form. You could, if you wish to, you could, but you're just pure light, pure energy, pure, unconditional love and light. And the higher you go, it's part of creation. The universal creators, it's part of it, and doing different parts, creating galaxies, and it's really oh man, I mean, I just starting to understand a lot of it, but it was amazing. Now, I just wanted to talk about that because I said I was going to talk about dimensions. I experienced the fifth. The fourth is when you pass on. That's the next dimension. They call it the fourth, but whatever. It's the next dimension, the fourth. You use your mind to create things too there. It's not the same though as the fifth. It's the fifth. It's a higher. There's unconditional. You have to be to enter the fifth. You have to have unconditional love for all beings, all life, no hatred, nothing. And anyways, the fourth is like when you pass on. It's you have a body still, and I know in the astral, people go to the astral plane. I've been there. I visited my family because they're not here on Earth anymore. But it's pretty much the same as a third, but not quite, because you can create things with your mind too in the fourth. I've been there and done that, but it's okay. The fourth is good, but I want to be in the fifth dimension. I really would like to be there, and I just want to talk about dimensions because I did say I was going to talk about that, and that oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. Just got it in my thought. What I'm trying to say also is that we're all, what I found out when my higher self did that, my higher self was showing me, you're existing on all these levels, Richard. Okay, my name's Richard in this lifetime, but hey, how many lifetimes I've had? Hey, how many names I've had? What's in a name? But you exist on all these levels. I exist on from here to the 12th. I'm existing there. There's a part of me. My higher self is showing me that. I know it's hard to get your mind around this, but this is how big we are as beings, and I'm connected to all those dimensions. No, I never seen my 11th dimension or self, or my 12th. I didn't get to see that, but I did see my 6th dimension, my 5th dimension. I know my 4th already, but and I'm assuming, and I think I'm right. I think I'm correct that we're all have something. We're all existing on these levels. All of us on this earth, or most of us, anyways. And that's it. I just wanted to talk about that. Because it's important that you realize that you're a multidimensional being. You're very powerful. Okay, don't fall for the crap. That's why I haven't watched TV for 6 years. You watch TV, your mind is being fed all kinds of crap to believe, to follow this, to believe that. It limits you so much. You're so much more. Okay, and be careful what you choose to read, to watch, or movies or whatever, because that also stays in your subconscious mind. And if you let it can be an influence. That's why meditation is very important, to control your thoughts. Control your thoughts, your subconscious and your conscious thoughts. That's all. I just wanted to talk about that. Okay, take care, everybody. I love you.